Boom! What's happening, people? Welcome to the Armament Factory, and welcome to the first ever episode of the Gun Shop Talk, a podcast where we talk everything gunners, but obviously everything footballing around the world too. We will dive into news, gossip, rumors, transfers, whatever is happening in the news. We will talk about it, we'll dive deep into it, and figure out the truths and share our opinions. So, we've got 5 topics today that we want to talk about. The first topic will be England's international break. The second topic will be, are Arsenal really the favourites, or are they the favourites to win the Premier League? Topic 3 will be next week's game, which is at Craven Cottage, Fulham versus Arsenal. Topic 4 is Jack Wilshere gets the Luton job. First managerial position. Yeah, he was interim, but we'll dive into all of that and talk a little bit about Jack Wilshere and congratulate him, obviously. And the final topic will be Man United. Are they about to be taken over? Let's find out, guys. Here we go. So, the first topic we want to talk about is England's international break. So, England's had 2 weeks now where they've been on international break. Obviously, so have other countries, but we're going to just focus on England at the moment. We are supporters of England. We want England to do well. We hope they're going to win a major tournament soon. So let's talk a little bit about these 2 weeks that they've had. Now, in these 2 weeks, Thomas Tuchel has made a lot of changes. A lot of people have not been included into the squad. Big names as well. Names like Bellingham, names like Grealish, Foden. Obviously, there's injuries also. Madueke, Cole Palmer. There is many football players that were missing from the England squad. Changes were made. Not everyone was happy with it. A lot of people complained about it. A lot of people questioned Thomas Tuchel and whether he's actually fit to take us into a major tournament. Now, I don't read too much into this, to be honest. I just think he's trying to figure out the best squad. He wants to see other players play. Yeah, there were some inclusions that I found very strange. We're going to talk about that a little bit. But let's just go back to last Friday, because last Friday was England's first game from in the international break. Now, that game was a charity friendly. Now, although a charity friendly is very honorable and they raised a lot of money, they raised, I think, 1.2 million for the Alzheimer's Society, which is absolutely fantastic, beautiful, great. We love that. We love the support because people do suffer. A lot of people suffer from Alzheimer's and dementia, and even the families that care for them, they suffer with them also. So, to donate to the Alzheimer's Society was absolutely fantastic. Regarding the game was great. It started off wonderful in the first 20, 25 minutes. I think England got 3 goals within 20 minutes. It was Morgan Rogers first, and then it was, I believe, Ollie Watkins and then Bukayo Saka. And Bukayo Saka's goal, unbelievable. I'm going to say this one more time. Unbelievable. Boy wonder, star boy, all of that came onto his left foot with a top strike, top bins, top quality, all of that. So yeah, that was a great 20-minute start for England. However, I felt after that, obviously Craig Bellamy had to sort of figure out how to stop this from becoming an actual drubbing. I had it pegged for 5-0. They didn't manage to get those other 2 goals. It ended up being 3-0. I do commend Wales and Craig Bellamy for coming out the second half and kind of playing slightly better. But England at the same time, again, took their foot off the gas. I wouldn't say put the handbrake on because Gordon was still running all across the pitch everywhere trying to create things. So it's not that they had the handbrake on. I felt they took their foot off the gas a little bit, which is understandable when you're in a charity friendly and you're 3-0 up. Obviously, nobody's trying to get injured. Everyone wants to play the next game. So it's a little bit understandable. Now, the next game is today. And today we will be doing a watch along, guys. So come and join us. It'll be England versus Latvia. So come and join me, react to the watch along. We can watch it together. Just have me in the background listening to me while you're watching. It'll be great. So England, Latvia today. We're waiting to see what the lineup is going to be. Obviously, we'll talk about that closer to the time. Now, if I'm really honest, it's not a real test for England. Not the Wales game, not the Latvia game. England's pretty much qualified for the World Cup already. You know, obviously they have to do these games, they have to play them. And I think that's why Thomas Tuchel has taken the chance within these 2 weeks to really kind of expand on all the players that he can possibly choose for the World Cup, because you'd have to question players like Loftus Cheek being called up. Now, what was really the intention of calling up Loftus Cheek? I know he plays at AC Milan. I'm not sure if he's like, doing so great over there. Um, I think last season he might have had a pretty decent season, but I don't know how far he's into this season and how well he's done. I don't really follow Serie A that much. I watch some highlights, so I can't really tell you whether Loftus Cheek was deserving of getting a call up for England or not. I don't think so. I don't think he's even at that level to be called up for the position that he plays, and he played him in a very strange position. I always thought Loftus Cheek was a centre back, but I'm pretty sure he put him somewhere in midfield or holding midfield. But I could be wrong, guys. Excuse me if I am. Now, the Wales friendly, I would have hoped, although it was a charity friendly and it's understandable and it's honourable and it's beautiful, I would have hoped that England with friendlies will choose to challenge themselves more, because when it comes to qualifiers, you have to obviously play the people within your region, the people that have been drawn in your group. There's nothing much you can do about that. It all has to do with UEFA and FIFA and all of that. But when it comes to friendlies, I'm pretty sure the FA has a say who they play in the friendlies. Now, my opinion is that England should choose their friendlies tactically. Don't always go for the teams that you're more likely to beat or are not really on your level. And I hate it when they always play against other British nations, not because it's not nice to play the neighbors. It's just that none of the British national teams are on the level of England, not Wales, not Scotland, not Northern Ireland. I wouldn't even say the Republic of Ireland, who are obviously not British, but they're not even on the level of England, nowhere near it. I believe Spain, France are the only ones in Europe that can really maybe give England a challenge at this moment in time with the players that we've got. So I just feel like these friendlies should be chosen more tactically to try, especially the year leading up to the World Cup. You need to try and test yourself. You need to see what positions to pick, what players are going to, because you never know. Sometimes players get injured that you thought, yeah, I'm going to take with me to the World Cup. Right before the World Cup, they'll get injured, and then you have to frantically start finding out what players can be replaced and what player can be put in to fill in that position to play maybe at a certain level or a similar level. So it becomes very difficult. So that's why Thomas Tuchel is obviously rotating the squad, trying to see who could possibly be backup players, who could be the bench warmers, who can be the first team, all of that. I wouldn't read too much into the players that he didn't pick. I do feel like it's motivational. I do feel like it's reverse psychology. He probably is trying to give them that anger, that hunger of, oh no, I wasn't picked, I wasn't chosen, I need to work harder, I need to do things. Now, obviously, the players would have that in the back of the mind also, but it is a motivational tactic. A lot of managers have done these things in the past. I really don't think you can leave Bellingham out. He's probably England's best footballer at the moment. So I doubt he cannot take him with him to the World Cup. Jack Grealish, Foden, I hope they're going to be there as well. Um, I will pick an England squad that I think is going to be a great squad before the World Cup, like, further down the line. At some point when we start doing the whole World Cup thing, I will pick my squad that I think will be great, and then see if Thomas Tuchel matches that squad, or we'll see what he thinks. But yeah, so England's game tonight against Latvia, guy, I think it's going to be fairly easy. Checked down the odds today just to see what the bookies and everyone else thinks, and well, England is more than just favorites. I mean, they look like they're nailed on favorites. I believe one of the odds were like 25-1. The last time I saw odds like that against England, could it have been Andorra, the last game against Andorra? Or not? Maybe. Anyway, the last time I did see odds like that was against Iceland, and then England ended up losing. Even though England were nailed on to win that game, Iceland ended up knocking them out of a major tournament. So we see what happens today. I think it's going to be an easy win for England. Once they win this game, I'm pretty much it's all wrapped up. They can start looking at just focusing on testing themselves in other friendlies with bigger nations. I hope they will do that. because playing Wales or any of the kind of like Maltas and Moldovas and all these kind of countries, there's no real test for England. So I don't think we can really tell what level they're at until they play a big nation, play in Argentina, play a Brazil. I don't know, play a France, like I said, a Spain, someone that will give you a test that will also want to see how they will fare against England. So, having said all of that, we're going to enjoy the game tonight. There will be a watch along, guys. So, come and join me. Watch me react to the game, to the goals, to the play. And we can talk some more about England and how they will do in the World Cup and which players will be taken. So, that's pretty much it, guys. This is my opinion about the international break. I love international football when it's competitive. When it's not, it's a bit of a drag. I still watch it. I'll still enjoy it because I love football nonetheless. But I do want to see more competitive friendlies. I know that sounds weird because it's in the name. It's a friendly, but some friendlies between nations will always give you that bit of oomph or X factor, or that yoga bonito. You see the beautiful football being played because these players want to show themselves on the world stage and they want to beat their opponents. So we'll see how that goes, guys. So enjoy the game tonight. If you can, come to my watch along, watch it. TAF Media on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, all of that. Watch my shorts, like, subscribe, follow, share, all of that, all of that, all of that. So enjoy the game tonight, guys. And that was the international break segment. Let's move on to the next segment. Boom. Now, the next topic we're going to talk about is, are Arsenal really favourites for the Premier League? Are they the favourites to win the title? Obviously, a lot of pundits, broadcasters, fans have chosen Arsenal as their favourites. I have not. If you was to ask me, are Arsenal the favourites for the Premier League? I'd say no, they're not. Are they in with a chance? Do they have the potential? Do they have the opportunity? Will they be in the running? Yes to all of that. Yes, 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 yes. However, are they the favorites? No, I don't think so. The reason why I don't think so, yes, you can tell me it's early in the season, and I can say the same thing to you guys, but I haven't seen Arsenal play like champions yet. Yes, the game against Newcastle was fantastic. Please go check out my watch along for that game. Yes, it was beautiful to win the game with a last minute winner, last kick of the game, and we won it, which we haven't done in a very long time. The last time I remember seeing that was against Bournemouth, maybe 3 seasons ago, when we was also in the title race, and we had to come back from a 2-1 loss to Bournemouth at home to winning 3-2 with, I believe it was Maitland Niles that scored the last goal, or was it Reece Nelson? I don't remember, guys. I'm sorry, but it was one of the young fellas that ended up grabbing the goal for us to win against Bournemouth then. So we have done these things before, so that's not really an indicator or a sign of champions for me. I know Liverpool fans were screaming that when they were doing that in the beginning of the season, but I've seen other teams be at the top of the league from very early and then just tumble down the rankings slowly. But now, like I said, I don't think they're the favorites because they haven't shown me that they're the favorites with the way they play. Meaning what? Now, if you go back in the last sort of, let's say, 5, 6 seasons of the Premier League, where Manchester City, Liverpool, and Arsenal have really been competing with each other, mainly Manchester City and Liverpool, just before Arsenal came into those runnings as well, as they started making a challenge for the title within the last 3 seasons, 4 seasons. Now, if we look at all those seasons, you can see from the teams that won it, whether it be Liverpool last season or it was Manchester City before that, they have a way that they play that when you look at them, you go, "Ooh, I don't see anyone beating them. I don't see anyone being able to kind of like score many goals against them or, really play them off the park." With Arsenal this season, from game one, we have seen that teams are able to step up and challenge us and give us a game and sometimes even play us off the park. Now, when you look at that, those are telltale signs for me that Yeah, we have a great squad and we can rotate players and we're sort of like near enough getting there. So on paper, when you look at Arsenal on paper and you read the names that we have in the squad, yes, it can you can say, wow, this is probably one of the best squads in England, if not in Europe. However, that doesn't always make you a champion just because you have great names on the paper or players that we know are great and that have the potential to be world beaters. Okay. Yes, it all looks good. It looks beautiful. But what I'm trying to say is the football is not there yet. So the names are there, the manager's there, the infrastructure, the foundation has all been built. It's all looking good. But the football on the pitch has got a lot left to desire. I'll be honest with you guys. As an Arsenal fan, like I said, I've seen the Manchester Cities, I've seen the Liverpools when they were making the challenges. They were unstoppable, unstoppable. Now, the problem is, it's the pundits, the broadcasters, some other fans. Everyone's trying to pile the pressure on Arsenal. Everybody's trying to say, yeah, Arsenal are the favourites. Arsenal must win this year. With all the money they've spent, they must win. All of that to me is BS. This is just mind games, guys. Arsenal fans, please listen to me. Don't buy into this rhetoric. Don't reiterate this rhetoric. I'm telling you, this is all mind games. And the more we, accept it and run with what they're saying and agree with what they're saying, it just piles more pressure on Arsenal. What you really want is the year that when we challenged and we ended up being 1 or 2 points away from winning it on the last day, I believe it was 2 seasons ago, we were in the background. Everyone was talking Man City, Liverpool. There was hardly any pressure on Arsenal because all the pressure was being piled onto Man City and Liverpool, who at the time, if you guys remember, were calling themselves mentality monsters and all of that. They're able to handle the pressure, they're able to deal with it. Arsenal have shown us many times that they crack under a lot of pressure. Players, staff, I don't know, the whole club, especially fans. So this is why I'm saying it is important that we do not run with this rhetoric of, yeah, Arsenal must win this season or Arteta gets sacked or, the club has to make changes. No, for what? Guys, listen to me. There is no guarantee that if you get rid of your manager, you're going to get someone in that's going to win and get us over the line. What's not broke, don't fix. I always go with this old adage. What's not broke, don't fix. So listen to what I'm saying. We're not broken for us to go and try and fix ourselves. No. We are on a staircase that we're taking step by step by step to get to the promised land. Some clubs can't do what the Man Cities have done or what the Liverpools have done or what the, PSGs have done or whatever. Some clubs have to do it differently, which takes a long time. Now, other fans, other pundits, yeah, but Arsenal haven't won in 20 odd years. This, that. So, Liverpool before they won the title hadn't won it for 20 odd years. Manchester United, the one of the greatest clubs in the world, hasn't won it in about 12, 13 years. And God knows when they're going to win. They might not win it for another 10 years. So they'll go over the 20-year mark as well. This just happens in football, guys. You're not entitled to win the title where it's just a given because you're that club and you've spent that money. No, it doesn't work like that. Do I want Arsenal to win? Of course. Do I think that they have the potential and the opportunity? Yes, of course. But don't come tell me they're favorites because of the money they've spent. That's absolutely ridiculous. Liverpool have spent money. Man City have spent money over the years. So many other clubs spent money. It doesn't guarantee you success. It doesn't. But what they do, what is happening is that people are getting worried. Fans from other clubs, pundits, broadcasters, they are starting to get worried that, you know what, there is momentum being built up. Yes, it's been taken 3, 4 years, 5 years now with Mikel Arteta, but this momentum is so vast and it's so strong and it's so beautiful that they want to destroy it. They want to get rid of it. They don't want Mikel Arteta at Arsenal because he's building greatness. He's building glory. Glory that we've seen other managers build, that other managers have achieved success after that. And I want that at my club. So why would I get rid of Mikel Arteta? Why would I put the pressure, oh, if you don't win this season with the money you've spent, I'm going to get rid of you. And then what? Bring another manager in that's going to destroy that whole foundation that Mikel Arteta built because he wants to bring in his own players. He wants to build his own. So how long is that going to take? Another 5 years? Another 6 years? There is no guarantee of success overnight, guys. There isn't. So please don't buy into that rhetoric and don't believe this and don't run with it. If anybody asks you, are Arsenal favourites? Tell them the truth. No, we're not. One, because we haven't won it in such a long time, right? Two, because we always falter under pressure. We always break under pressure. We haven't proven that we can stay strong, right? So, and we don't have the greatest manager in the world because that's Pep Guardiola. And we don't have the greatest striker in the world, which is Erling Haaland. Let's talk serious here. Let's talk serious. Who are favourites for the Premier League are still going to be the best in the world, which is Man City. Yeah, they might have not won anything last season. Yeah, Pep Guardiola's team might look different from they've been over the last few years. But believe me when I tell you, if there's any manager that can win with a mediocre squad in a mediocre year, it's Pep Guardiola. He can still do it. I believe last season he got to a final, didn't he? With a ridiculously average and poor season, he was still challenging. And believe me when I tell you, Pep Guardiola doesn't go more than 1 year without winning a trophy. I guarantee you that. So, who are the favourites really? Manchester City. I wouldn't even say Liverpool. Liverpool, I said from before the season started, they're running on fumes. They burnt out all their petrol, all their gas last season to win the title. Yes, they gave new contracts to their elder statesmen, but they are running on fumes. I doubt they'll get anything this season. I could be wrong, obviously, but this is how I see it. So I think it's going to be between Manchester City and Arsenal, possibly. And if you ask me who the favourites are, it's Manchester City. If you ask me who do I want to win, obviously it's Arsenal. And if you ask me, can Arsenal do it? Yes, of course they can. There is an opportunity, there's a possibility, but I wouldn't tell you they're favourites. So no. So people, please, Arsenal fans, stop being silly. Tell people that what you really believe are the favourites. Do you really want Arsenal to win? Yes, we want Arsenal to win. That's a silly question. But don't just talk with your heart. Use your brain, guys. We're not there yet. We haven't been across the line yet. We haven't been in this crunch time and defeated all that pressure and dealt with it and, clung on to the top spot and stayed there and got across the line. We haven't done it yet, guys, so we can't be favourites. I'm sorry. So that's it, guys. That's the segment on our Arsenal favourites. Like I said, for me, if you ask me, no. For me, Manchester City are favourites. I've said it from before the season started, and I'll stick with it, and we'll see what happens because it's quite early still in the season. So we'll see what happens from now until the end of the season. Obviously, we're going to do more Premier League preview shows, review shows, roundups, and podcasts. So we'll be talking about a lot of stuff that's happening. But that's it, guys. That's the segment on our Arsenal favourites. Let's move on to the next segment, guys. The next segment we're going to talk about is next Saturday's fixture at Craven Cottage. That's right, guys. Fulham versus Arsenal. Great game to watch. London derby, obviously. They don't have a great record against us. I think from 2001 till now, we've played 34 times at Craven Cottage. They've beaten us 4 times. We've drawn 8, but we've beaten them 24 times. Now, you can read into this whatever you want. It's a different Fulham team under a different manager. They're coming off of 2 losses, both of them 3-1. However, the game before that, 3 games ago, they won 3-1. So they're having a bit of an up and down season. They'll win, they'll draw, they'll lose, they'll win, they'll draw. So it's a bit of a mixed bag for Fulham at the moment. I hope they can find some consistency. I do love Fulham. Fulham is one of those old school clubs. They're old. I think they're one of the oldest in England, or in the English league, to be honest with you. So, and I used to live in Earl's Court for a while, so I used to go to the game sometimes when I can get tickets. Well, it's easy to get Fulham tickets, to be honest with you. So I did go to the Cottage many times. to watch games there when they're playing different teams. Not necessarily just Arsenal, but I just love football, so I'll go and watch the games there sometimes. Um, they're not on a great run at the moment, like I said. So I do think that it's going to be fairly easy for Arsenal, but you never know because Fulham on the day. And the thing is, what I would like to say is that I feel like teams like. I feel like teams play out of their skin when they play against Arsenal, and evidence is Liverpool because the way they played against us. From when you're saying Konate had a great game, but in every other game he hasn't, that tells you everything. Players, they become slightly different or they're slightly more motivated when they play in Arsenal. And that's the God's honest truth. It might be that they do that against Man City and maybe Man United as well, against the elite sort of heritage clubs. They might just step it up. But evidence is Liverpool, how they played against everyone else, and then how they played against us. And even when they played against us, they played out of their socks, especially Szoboszlai, Konate, Van Dijk. They were, it was damage control because I'll be honest with you, we could have damaged them that game. We were playing a lot better than Liverpool, guys. That's the truth, especially the first half. They were very, very lucky. All right. Like I said, Konate played out of his socks that day, out of his skin that day, whereas in every other day, he had a bad game. Same thing with Kirkez as well. Same thing with the other players that were on the pitch. Now, will Fulham be able to challenge us on the day? The reason why I don't think so, although they have got some former Arsenal players that are great, they got Maitland Niles there now. They've got what's his name, Iwobi there as well, and who else? I think there's one more other player that I'm forgetting. That was a former Arsenal player. I'll remember his name, guys. Don't worry. But yeah, there's like 3, 4 former Arsenal players that are there now. So they are pretty good. They are pretty decent. They can put up a challenge. They can play. That's not a problem. It's whether they turn up on the day. We are playing away from home. Um, I'm still wanting a hat trick from Gyökeres, guys. I'm waiting for that. I've been calling out his name for so long. Now, I wasn't really convinced in the beginning of the season. I went to a couple of games to watch him. I watched him in the preseason game against Bilbao where he scored, which was, I think, his first home game. So he is getting, I think he's got 3 goals. So he is on the score sheet, but you know what it is? I think he's getting there slowly. In the beginning, I wasn't convinced. I used to argue with a lot of my friends or Arsenal mates where they're gassed and they're excited and I'm like, guys, I don't know. The way he's very sluggish, very slow, very heavy. You know, he didn't hit the ground running, as they say, in the Premier League, although he's played in the English leagues. But I do have hope for him, especially the last couple of games I've seen him play. A lot of improvement, the way he's holding up play, the way he's shrugging off defenders. I think it's incredible. So I do have hope for him. I do feel like there's potential for him to improve and become a great striker. It's just that he needs that one game where it just all falls for him. He gets a hat trick and his not motivation. What's the word I'm looking for? His I don't know the word to say, but he gets this boost, to be like, oh, now I've got it. I know how to do it now. Let's go and get the 20, 25, 30 goals that Erling Haaland gets. I'm not saying that he's going to be another Erling Haaland because that brer is a Terminator, violator, menace, absolute menace. I hope that Gyökeres can turn into that. Whether he will, we'll have to see. So yeah, I wasn't really convinced with him, but I'm waiting for his hat trick. I'm waiting for him to do well. I'm waiting for Eze to do, although he's done very well for Arsenal already. The last game he had so many shots on target and he missed an open goal, which I know he felt really bad about. So we're not going to blame him too much. These things do happen. But yeah, I want him to do well. Obviously, it's a shame Odegaard is out till mid-November. He's hurt himself again. But Zubamendi's been doing very, very well as well. Martinelli probably starts. So if we're going to go through the lineup now, so my lineup would be this. I'd play Saliba, Gabriel, obviously, Timber, and I'd play Lewis Skelly in this game. I wouldn't play Calafiori. I'd keep Calafiori on the bench. I want to give Lewis Skelly a run out. Fulham is a perfect game to give him a run out. So I'd play Gabriel Saliba at the back, Timber and Lewis Skelly on either side of them. Midfield, I'd go Zubamendi, Rice, and I'd say who else would want to put in midfield? Mm, if I was to go 4-3-3, so it'd be Zubamendi, Rice, and Eze. That's it. So Rice, Eze, Zubamendi. So I'll put Zubamendi right in front of the back four. Then I'll put Rice and Eze right in front of Zubamendi as the three. And then they'll put the three in front of them. Obviously, Saka on one side, Martinelli on the other side, and Gyökeres in between them. I'd start off like that and then maybe make changes, obviously, further down the line. I think that's a great lineup to play Fulham. I think they'll win. I think they'll beat them. My prediction is 4-0. I don't see Fulham scoring against us. I know they're playing at home, but our defense is solid. That pitch is very small and narrow. I think we'll do a better job in smaller pitches, narrow pitches. It's more difficult to defeat a defense in those kind of pitches. It's easier when the pitch is huge and wide and it's open and so much space to run into. So that's my prediction for the game, guys. So Fulham versus Arsenal at Craven Cottage. It's going to be at 5:30 on Saturday. We will be doing a watch along for that, so make sure you tune in for that. If you don't tune in for today's watch along, make sure you tune in for that watch along. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. Premier League is back, so yes, I hate it when we miss out on the Premier League. So I can't wait for the weekend, guys. It's going to be a great match. It's going to be a great lineup for Arsenal. Again, like I said, my prediction is 4-0. We'll see how they do at the Cottage, and we'll see if Fulham can bounce back from 2 losses in a row. Also, one quick side note as well. There's been some talk about Silva, the manager of Fulham. I think he's got a close relationship with Marinakis. So if things don't go very well at Fulham, it might be that if Ange Postecoglou gets sacked at Nottingham Forest, there is rumours and talk going around that Marco Silva might end up going to Nottingham Forest, and then Fulham would have to get another manager. So there might be some managerial changes throughout the season. I'm not going to talk about all of that right now because it's got nothing to do with what we're talking about. So we will do separate videos and content for those. But there's going to be some managerial changes. But all in all, so 5:30 on Saturday, guys. Be there or be squared. Fulham versus Arsenal at Craven Cottage. It's going to be a great match. I hope to see you guys there. Please like, follow, subscribe if you come to the watch along. All of that, all of that, all of that. And yeah, let's move on to the next topic, guys. Let's go. Right, let's move on to the next topic. Let's talk Jack Wilshere. First of all, I want to say many congratulations, many to a wonderful, legendary Arsenal player, Jack Wilshere. That's right, guys. I know I'm calling him legendary, and that word gets thrown around a lot. But for me, he was legendary, although he had many injuries that held him back in his career, and he went through quite a lot. So it's a shame that he wasn't able to fully fulfill his potential. But to me, he'll always be a legend. To me, an Arsenal legend. He done so well. I'll always remember that game against Barcelona. But Jack Wilshere has accepted the Luton job. Now, let's talk about this a little bit. So first of all, Jack Wilshere started off coaching at Arsenal. I believe last season he ended up as a coach at Norwich. I might be wrong, but I believe he was at Norwich, and then the Norwich manager got sacked towards the end of the season, and I believe Jack got given interim managerial job there for 2 games at the end of the season. He tried to apply for that job, didn't get it, or he just didn't get it after that anyway. I think he applied for the Plymouth job or asked about the Plymouth job, didn't end up getting that during the summer. However, he has accepted the Luton job. Now, Luton, guys, remember, were in the Premier League a few seasons ago. I believe the 23-24 season, they were in the Premier League. Since then, they have fallen down hard. I mean, they've tumbled down the leagues. They've had back-to-back relegations, so they're in League One now. So can Jack Wilshere bring them back up to their heights? Now, will they reach the Premier League again? we will see. I doubt it for now, but we'll see. But can Jack get them back into the championship? Can he get them back competing? Can he get them back to playing great, wonderful football? I believe so. I think he's a wonderful coach. I think he'll do great. So many congratulations, Jack, on accepting that job. It's not an easy job, but I will say, Jack, I read a quote from him where he said, "This is full circle." He obviously started his footballing days at Luton from the age of 8. He went to Luton from 8 years old, obviously ended up at the Arsenal Academy, as we well know. But because he started his footballing career there, he's saying it's come full circle where he's starting his first real managerial job at Luton also. So congratulations, Jack. We wish you all the best. We wish you all the success as long as it's not against Arsenal. We wish you everything. You know, hopefully you succeed. Hopefully you can show. And I hope, because Jack is only 33 years old, guys. I really hope that he can build himself up and gain so much knowledge and experience in the next 10 years that by the time he's 43, I hope he'll be that good of a manager that he can potentially become an Arsenal manager in the future. Why not? I mean, yeah, hopefully Arteta stays for, as long as he can and wins everything multiple times, no problem. But if we do really want uh, another manager, we hope that some of our own, like Mikel Arteta, can start becoming better managers or better coaches and eventually come back to Arsenal and manage Arsenal and win trophies with Arsenal too. So congratulations, Jack. There's not much more to say on this topic, guys, to be honest with you. He accepts the Luton job. It's where he started. I wish him all the best. I wish him all the success as long as it's not against Arsenal, Jack. So congratulations again. And that's it, guys. That's everything I have to say on this topic. So let's move on to the next topic. Let's go. Right, let's wrap this all up, guys. Let's get to the last topic. The last topic of the day is, are Manchester United about to be taken over? Now, this is a huge, huge topic that I want to talk about because this is the latest thing that's kind of crept up in the news. It was rumors. Obviously, Manchester United are always talked about being taken over because the fans haven't been happy with the Glazers for many years. I'd say couple decades now. I'll be honest with you. Maybe ever since, because even when Alex Ferguson was there, I'm pretty sure those yellow and green scarves came out, and there was protests then, and I don't know. So I know they haven't been happy with the Glazers for a long time. Ineos and Ratcliffe came in to try and steady the ship and make Man United get back to where they was. Unfortunately, that did not happen at all. It was out of the pan into the fire for Manchester United. Bad to worse, guys. That's what's been happening at Manchester United. Now, Amarin has been given a vote of confidence by Ratcliffe. He's come out and said in a interview that he will give him the 3 years to see what he can do within those 3 years, and he even mentioned it like Arteta. I don't even want to talk about that right now, how ridiculous that statement was. But are Man United about to be taken over? So this is the whole story, guys. This is how it happened. A man by the name of Turki Al-Sheikh, he's a Saudi minister of entertainment, I believe. I used to think he was a minister of sport, but I believe he's a minister of entertainment, or he's got a ministerial job. But he has been tasked with bringing entertainment to Saudi Arabia. So he's brought boxing, he's brought UFC, he's brought WWE, he's brought concerts, he's brought comedians. He's done so much for Saudi entertainment that literally everything that's happening is happening over there at the moment, including even their football. Is bring all these the football league in Saudi has grown over the last 24 months with all these footballers. Now there used to be only ones retiring going over there. Now it's also younger players going over there. A lot of money is being spent, but it's not Saudi Arabia we're talking about. So Turki Al Sheikh, I believe it was last week or maybe 10 days ago or so, came out with a X message or a tweet, whatever you want to call it, talking about how and this is not a quote by the way, but he was talking about how finally there is a bid, that there is a consortium about to make a deal to buy Manchester United. Everybody thought it was a consortium from Saudi. It was a consortium that he was backing or he was part of. That were the rumors. However, he came out and put out another message, another statement saying that no, it's not him. It's no one from Saudi. It's actually a consortium from the UAE. Now, for those that don't know what UAE is, I'm sure all of you do. But for those that don't know, UAE is the United Arab Emirates. That's the name of the country, the United Arab Emirates. Now, the United Arab Emirates consists of Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Ain, Ajman, Sharjah, and one or two other cities or areas of that country, provinces, whatever you want to call them. So the main ones obviously are Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi being the actual capital, the political capital, Dubai being the commercial and tourist capital of the UAE. So the UAE is a separate country from Saudi. Yes, it's in the Gulf, it's in the Middle East, but it's nothing to do with Qatar. It's nothing to do with Saudi Arabia. So Qatar, the Qatari consortium owned PSG. If this consortium out of the UAE will end up purchasing Manchester United, you're going to have two United Arab Emirates consortiums owning both club in Manchester, guys. That's right. Both clubs in Manchester is going to be owned by Arabs. It's going to be owned by the United Arab Emirates consortium. It's not the actual country. It's a consortium of business people that have pooled their money together and will purchase the club. Who they are, I'm not sure yet. I am researching everything to see what's happening. Apparently, it's not rumors. The meeting was held yesterday. So I'm going to wait for more details to see what happened in the meeting and what will come out and what is said and what is going to happen. Will it be great for Manchester United now? The Glazers, I feel like, have been draining the club for many, many years now. Just greedy, money hungry leeches that have just been leeching off this club for decades now. The Arabs, they're slightly different. They don't look at this opportunity like, okay, just the money spinner. Yeah, obviously it's business, and business always revolves around making money. So they're not stupid, but they do care. They do like football. They love football. You see, that's the difference between Americans and Arabs. Arabs are actually involved in football. They love football. That is their number one sport. In America, football or soccer is not the number one sport. So Americans will never look at football or this sport that we love so much the same way the people that actually enjoy this type of entertainment or enjoy the sport will look at it. That's how I feel, guys. But at the end of the day, it's still a business. So are they trying to make money? Well, obviously, because otherwise they wouldn't be businessmen. But that's everyone in football. Like, it's not just them. All the owners, even the American owners, they've come and invested in the UK, not for a joke or just as a dare from their friends. No, they're doing it because they're seeing great business potential and business opportunity and money making opportunity. The Premier League is the greatest league in the world. The English football leagues are the greatest leagues in the world at every level. So that's the consortium is coming out of UAE. So this is what Turki Al Sheikh says. So Turki Al Sheikh came out with a statement on X, and then he also added that it's not out of Saudi. So everyone that's confused, guys, it's not a Saudi takeover, because I do hear that a lot online, a lot of fan channels, a lot of different people that don't really understand the difference are saying, oh, Saudi takeover, because Turkey Al Sheikh came out with a statement. But guys, it has nothing to do with Saudi. It's a UAE consortium, which is United Arab Emirates. Do I want them to take over Manchester United? I'm a little bit on the fence with that. I'll tell you why. I'm on the fence with that because does it make Manchester United greater again? Possibly it can bring them back to the heights they were at. They have the potential to do that. When it comes to the financial regulations, are they going to be able to spend the money like they did, like Manchester City did, like the Chelsea's did? It's a different time right now, so I don't know how quick they can get Manchester United back up on the heights, on the pedestal. But the potential is there. I do think they'll be a better fit for the club than the Glazers are. I think they will drag them out of debt. I think they'll drag them out of all the financial troubles that they're in. However, does that mean Ratcliffe and Ineos is out? Because I believe the Glazers have the possibility to sell the whole club, not just their part of it. I know Ineos and Ratcliffe own a small amount, like a small share. I think it's like 23% or something like that. But the Glazers can sell the whole club, including their shares as well, from what I understand. So that means they're able to sell the whole club to the consortium, meaning that Ineos and Ratcliffe will be out as well. So that's it, guys. That's today's podcast, or that's it, guys. That's it for today. We've run through the topics. Yeah, it was quite quick, but it's just kind of a summary of all of these things that's happening. I don't want to take up much of you guys' time. But I hope you liked it. I hope you'll share it. Please subscribe to the channel as well. Watch the other content, like and share and subscribe that as well. All of that. And tonight we're going to do the watch along for England versus Latvia. Saturday we're doing a watch along for the Fulham versus Arsenal. So I hope to see you guys there as well. So please keep following the content, guys, and please keep liking it and sharing it and subscribing to all of the channels. And I hope to see you again. And yes. Adios, amigos.